Hi everyone, day millionth. I don't even know what day it is. But hello, Noah's Ark Plants here. Noah in the background, he's hanging out with Kelsey Jane, who turned 1 yesterday. Maybe we'll get her on for a little reprise later. It's been a while, I'm sorry. It's just been kind of busy and I've been overwhelmed. But here we are with tomatoes, and I want to give you a tip from Grandma Jane in New England. She's 95 years old, and she taught me last year for the first time at age 95 how to properly trim a tomato plant. So I have 3 different sizes here. I've got, like, ones that are a little medium, a baby here that we just planted a few days ago, and we have a larger one. Okay, and you can start this process pretty early on. We're also going to talk about caging, but I'll do that second. I'll do the trimming first. You've got your tools. You can use either a clipper or a pair of garden scissors. I like scissors, like these old-fashioned metal scissors that are like really dangerous. Be careful. But you can use a clipper as well. So here we go. My clippers. And what these things are that we're about to cut off the plant are called suckers. Okay, and they sap the energy from the plant, so it doesn't fruit as much. So we want lots of fruit, as much as we can get. So we're gonna cut these off. And so Grandma Jane showed me, here we go, down here in the plant. I'll move so the shadow's not there. This is not, you don't wanna touch that because that's gonna grow. This part here, this woody thing that's sticking out, that's a sucker. So you wanna clip that right off. And that's why I like the scissors too, because they're nice and accurate. Okay, so we're gonna look around the plant and we're gonna find all the suckers here. Here's one down here, and sometimes there's quite a few, and these are just draining the plant, so don't be afraid to cut them off. Don't cut these tips, okay? Don't cut anything that's new growth. You don't want that cut. Just the suckers that are like woody looking, that look just like this, okay? Don't be afraid. Okay, look at this big one here. This is really taking so much energy from our tomato. We're gonna cut that off. I know it looks like you're cutting the tomato off. You're not hurting the tomato. This is good, okay? Here we go, here's another big one here. See the flower coming? So this was about ready to bear, so this is gonna help a lot. Okay, I should have done this before, but I wanted to make a video. Here we go. Cut these. You can cut the small ones too. Big, small, equal opportunity sucker cutting over here. All the way down, she said, all the way down to the bottom. Here's one down at the bottom. They get like really spread out and woody when they get at the bottom. You want to get those off too. So clearing this out, you start to see what we're looking like here. Okay, cut this one too. Ooh, sometimes they're hard to cut. A good clip. This little one down here, sure, why not? This one here, here, okay. This is, a lot of people don't know about this, I found out, and that's why I wanted to do a little feed on it. I'm not sure about this. I'm gonna leave, well, I can take this little one. But see this? This might come out with some, this is a sucker here. All these little, she said, take them all off, take them all off. Don't be afraid, okay? So I have to believe her. She is 95 after all. She's done plenty of tomatoes. Here's another big one. So now you're gonna see the difference. And here's a big one over here. Now look at that. All that is gone. Okay, it looks like I just butchered the plant, but I promise you, look at this one right here. This big one right here. I'm gonna take that right off. And watch the other parts as you're cutting. Sometimes you get a little trigger happy, and okay, that's looking much better. Okay, and now this plant can grow some nice fruit. I'll continue on with this, but look, you really can go all the way down to it. Okay, there. I'm gonna go with that. Plenty of branches still coming out. These are all gonna become flowering branches. Okay, there you go. So here's one that's been clipped. There's one that hasn't. So you can kind of see the difference here. It looks much sort of thinner than the other one. Now we're going to talk about caging and staking a little. Couple of different things. You want to cage when they're about this size so they can grow into the cage. Always pull these little pieces up over the, oh, there's some little, I just planted this. It was looking really sad and I wanted to put it in the ground. It looked like it was about to die, basically. So we finally got it figured out. Put the cage on about this size. Make sure your leaves start growing over the parts of the cages. They don't get pressed down, okay? If they're too big, there's two different ways you can handle it. Like if they're already like this and you haven't caged them by now, you can flip it over upside down. Of course, you want to clip it down first like this. You've already done this, don't worry. You can also stake, okay? So I just took a branch, you know, like a tree branch here, and if you can't cage it and you're nervous, you just put the branch next to it, shove it into the earth, right next to it, right next to it. Right, without, of course, breaking it as you go. You can do it any way that you're comfortable with. A little more in. My husband's worried it's not in. You need some muscle. You can ask someone help. And you can get something softer like this, or like a piece of old t-shirt, or anything that's soft. No string, because that won't work. It will not hold, believe it or not. And you get around these main branches here, and you just give a little knot. Not too tight. Look, I'm giving some space here for the thing to grow, okay? You want to be able to grow in here. There might be tomatoes hanging in there in a week or two. And double knot it gently. And that should hold fine, okay? You're just supporting the plant, okay? No big deal. I still got some more suckers to cut on this, but I did just want to go over this with you because a lot of people don't know about, look at all the dead energy on this plant. Okay, and I did this on purpose to show you, okay? Maybe we'll have a control group. Should I? No, I'm just gonna trim them all. But experiment. And there's Kelsey, she's coming for her performance. Kelsey Jane! Hi, here she is. She is 1 year old yesterday. Whoops, June 6th. And I hope everybody's doing okay, staying safe, staying out of, you know, getting COVID-19 or whatever, or any suffering or problems. Be well, everyone, and thank you. And Noah's over there, he's making money on plants. We love you. Ciao.